Cleveland laying. Cleveland's laying 2.5.
Yeah, it's kind of switched.
Minus 138 on the money line, plus 118 for Dallas. 40.5 is the total. Oh, that's right. We were sitting in the book talking about this one. Last week.
Yeah, it started.
Cowboys
Dallas,
were -2.
Dallas was their early favorite for most of the offseason, and then I don't know what caused this switch. People just realized, woke up, maybe our podcast moved the number, Ryan. Seeing Cowboys that we had them at 3 and 14. I think they're just the Cowboys offensive line, which was really how they won games, right? They were able to run the ball with that dominant offensive line and give Dak Prescott a bunch of time. And yeah, eventually they hit the wall in the postseason when games matter, but they were able to fool people. But how can you beat the Dallas Cowboys? You can run it down their throat. Ask Aaron Jones, ask Dick Puncher here, ask Magic Man Blanco, ask any Packers fan. They ran the ball down. Aaron Jones had a hell of a game in that playoff game, and that set up everything else. And I think the Browns, as much as it feels scary to be betting on Deshaun Watson, I think they're going to be able to set it up with the running game, get some play action. And I love this Browns defensive line. I love Myles Garrett going up against an inexperienced Cowboys offensive line, and the vibes are just horrible for this team. So CeeDee Lamb's the only guy that got paid. And what about Micah Parsons? What about Dak Prescott? I mean, Dak Prescott said him not getting a new deal says all you need to know. So he's mad at Jerry Jones. How is that? And then he's going to play really good. Maybe it's a contract year, but Deron Bland is out. The guy who's responsible for 5 pick sixes last year, 4 pick sixes,
decent amount of touchdowns.
Which again, if you get a pick six, that swings the game. I don't think they're going to have that unsustainable amount of defensive touchdowns. And I think the Browns are going to be able to run the ball on them.
Yeah, we earlier today on the prop show, go check it out, discussed Jerome Ford. Certainly like Ford in fantasy. I mean, if you were drafting him in the 10th, 11th round, he's starting for you. It's a great matchup. And I think on both sides, you look at what that offensive line for the Cowboys could be against this Cleveland pass rush. We discussed on the team preview, Sean, the home road splits for this defense. I certainly think they could eat. We could be talking about a situation where Dak Prescott, most interceptions in the league, bet is off to a great start. Maybe a sack fumble or two.
Yeah, I mean, again, my bias aside against the Cowboys, I think that offensive line versus the Browns defensive line. If this game was in Dallas, I might be taking the Cowboys, Ryan, because that's how much better. I look at every game individually. I don't have any biases. That's how much better I think the Browns defense is at home. Look at the Browns home road split defensively. We had Big Play Dave on, and shout out to the Big Play Network. If you're a Cleveland or Ohio fan, they got more content coming out their ass. They got Jameis Winston added their network. That's awesome. Man, shout out to the Big Play guys.
We are so close to getting Jameis on the show.
Very close.
So close.
One day.
I mean, fade the Cowboys also.
Yeah. That trumps everything.
A little bit worse. The thing that will almost make
I don't like betting on Deshaun Watson as a favorite. I don't.
How many plays do we get to see Jameis play in this game? I will say this: what almost made me take the Cowboys,
Deshaun Watson,
the fact that Callahan left to go coach with his son down in Tennessee,
and their offensive line is banged up.
No longer the offensive line coach. You got to imagine they should be able to keep the structure in place going for at least a season.